Alright, what's going on, guys? So quick video today. This is a drill to help you work on your trigger step. So to me, I'd interpret the trigger step as that kind of upward springing motion you see a lot of Soviet fighters use to get power into their punches, okay? So the drop step and the trigger step, falling step, these are all terms kind of used interchangeably, but for me to kind of distinguish them, I call that upward kind of jumping motion the trigger step, okay? So Svetlana Andreeva is a coach from I believe Russia, and she has a YouTube channel called Kitek Boxing. So there's a lot of really cool videos on there showing that Soviet style, and you'll notice a lot of those Soviet fighters, think about like Bivol, they have this kind of bouncy, kind of upward motion into their punches, right? There's a lot of this kind of upward, they're up more mobile, and when they throw power into their shots, they use this kind of springing kind of step, okay? So that's what I call the trigger step. Okay, so this drill is kind of similar to the evaluation line drill that I did in, I believe, my last video. Okay, but we're just going to do it a little differently. We're going to do it focusing on that trigger step, okay? Alright, so you can start this drill neutral from your learning stance, and then you can do it, from your regular stance. But I'm going to start neutral here, completely squared up, and the idea is I'm going to walk straight forward, straight back, but as I move forward, I'm going to kind of pop up and turn at the same time. So it's like a microscopic kind of jump, almost like when you're jumping rope. And then I'm going to do the next punch. It's going to be my left hand. I'm just going to throw straights for now. And I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to move forward with this motion. Okay? So what this is doing is this trains your feet to have that kind of spring that you almost, you can see why it gets interchanged with the falling step, because you kind of fall forward, but the initial motion is more of almost like a tiny jump, a little upward motion, but then as I turn and move myself forward, I kind of fall into the shot, okay? So that's the point here. This is going to add a lot of power in your shots, but it allows you to be really mobile at the same time, okay? And it's another cool thing is because if you do get caught in a position where you're just, standing completely neutral like this, and maybe you had to defend yourself, you have the ability to throw a powerful shot from basically what would be considered a bad position, okay? Alright, so when I go backwards, it's going to be very similar. Forward, backward. Okay? So, I've studied a lot of the Cubans and the Soviet boxing systems because they really focus on body mechanics. And if you just Google and watch any of these Cuban or Soviet gyms, and you see everybody there is on a very good level fundamentally. Like, there's going to be a few guys that are above everybody else, but everybody in the gym is going to have a really solid fundamental style. And you can see, it looks gorgeous. You watch these gyms and everybody there just looks amazing, okay? And you contrast that with a lot of the gyms you see, in other places of the world where everybody's all over the place. You got a couple guys that are really good, and then everybody else is kind of hit or miss, right? And a lot of that, I think, is because You know, over here or in America, we just kind of, you know, we don't really focus on these body mechanics so much. From day one, you get in the gym, you know, they show you how to stand in your stance and you start moving around and they show you a couple punches and then take it from there, right? But, you know, I've seen in these Soviet and Cuban systems, a lot of times they take their beginners and they have them stand completely neutral. And they learn their coordination and body mechanics first, okay? So keep that in mind, all right? It's really good to keep coming back to this idea, right? This is going to make you more coordinated, and it'll make you a better fighter in the long run, okay? All right, so then you can do this drill from your regular stance, okay? And, you know, you can train southpaw as well, train both orthodox and southpaw, right? But, you know, take it slow. Start neutral, right? And then you can work on your regular stance, and then you can mix in the opposite stance just to make you well coordinated, right? Okay. So for my stance now, the same kind of thing. Right? So I move forward with this kind of upward motion, and I turn my hips, and I land into the punch. Backwards is the same thing. Right? So I don't want to bend my knees too much, right? That's going to make me have to use too much muscle into this jump. A lot of the Soviet guys, they have a little bend in their knee, but when they punch, their legs get a lot straighter, okay? So keep that in mind when you're doing this drill. It's not so much of a knee bend, it's more of this just kind of almost like jump rope. Almost like you're jumping rope, little hop. But once you kind of initiate the movement, you turn your hips into the shot and you land into a strong position at the end of your punch, okay? All right, so try this drill out. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.